Hello, we are at another weekend, and I wanted to talk a little today about an example of our thoughts create our reality. It is something that I came upon in 1977, reading my first Seth, S-E-T-H book, Seth Speaks, and I have held onto that mantra, your thoughts create your reality, ever since. I am deeply steeped in it, but there are times that I forget. And this week was sort of an example of that, where on Monday, I think it was either a Facebook post or something on AOL. They give you little things about the news on AOL too. I had read that Trump wanted to discontinue Martin Luther King Day and Juneteenth and Gay Pride Month and some other things. And when I allowed myself to drop into the ugliness of that, it felt like a gut punch. It felt like it had happened to me, that I was the one that was now being disenfranchised because of this horrible, horrible bias that this man carries with him and the people who support him. It was such an awful, awful feeling that I got very, very teary, and I stayed that way for 2 hours. I just couldn't seem to lift myself up above it. I did not go and fact check to see, had this actually happened? What had he said? What had he done? I am extremely ready to immediately accept any terrible thing attributed to him, because he has shown us just how terrible he can be. But I hadn't in fact fact-checked that until today. But I did spend 2 hours on Monday morning being very, very sad and dropping into the feeling of being a Black American and being dishonored like that. And it just made me so, so sad. Anyway, I had other things I had to do that day. They took my mind off of that particular fact. And then Tuesday wasn't quite as bad. By Wednesday, I woke up happy again. But it showed me how your thoughts, and I immediately went to the very worst possible outcome, that Trump would try to erase every single memory of every beautiful, outstanding, lovely, remarkable, special thing Black people had done or people of color had done during the history of this country. And he may yet want to do that. I mean, he is base enough to do something like that. But I didn't go to our country's outrage. I didn't go to our country standing up and uniting against that sort of tyranny. And that's really where I wished I had gone. So that's how your thoughts create your reality, and I wanted to straighten out what had happened. There was actually that Trump had a directive issued to the Department of Defense Intelligence Agency that they were no longer to honor all of these different special occasions that we have held as traditions for 40, 50 or more years. And so how should I have looked at it? Should I have examined where does this come from? What is he saying? What is the scope of it? Before letting myself completely dissolve like I did. On the other hand, I have to say a good cry is really, really good for you. It does help to clear out a lot of stuff. So, not the worst thing that could happen to you. Anyway, wishing us all a wonderful rest of the weekend. And hoping that I spend a little bit more time fact-checking. Not that what he did wasn't bad enough as it is, but those people can't really fight back the way the rest of us can. And imagine we could have the most splendid Martin Luther King Day going forward, just to let the administration know it can't legislate away memory or honor. All right. Bye for now.